so am I. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. I would behold you with the eyes of Christ and see my perfect sinlessness in you. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. I would behold you with the eyes of Christ and see my perfect sinlessness in you. Oh, give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so are we. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son. And I am His Son. God is but love, God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Well, thank you all so much for joining me here for this rainy Monday for me. This is our Thursday, June the 25th of 2026 lesson. I told you the other day that 20th was my oldest son's birthday. It's actually the day. I don't know, I was getting it backwards. Anyway, happy birthday, Justice. Lesson 176. And we're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles today. Let's get right into it. God is but love, and therefore so am I. We're to sandwich that idea around the two reviews. 161, give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. And when we did that lesson back on 161, we were to tell ourselves every hour of the day, give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. I would behold you with the eyes of Christ. That's how we receive our brother's blessing, is by seeing them as innocent, as the Holy Christ. I would behold you with the eyes of Christ and see my perfect sinlessness in you. What you're going to give is what you're going to receive. We want to give the blessing of holiness so we can receive the blessing of holiness. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. And then, God is but love, and therefore so am I. Sandwiched around the idea of 162, I am as God created me. And we took from the last chapter of our text the idea, give me your blessing, I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son. I am as God created me. Once you start realizing how invulnerable you are as a son of God, you'll start trying to feel weak. It's the weakness that makes you think you need to attack and protect yourself. Once you realize that you can't be killed, only the body can be, and that's not you. You get wrapped up in a little small, infinitesimally small picture of yourself when you think you are the body, and you try to protect its cares. Oh, it might seem long in this world, but you're comparing it to others that also are. When people are comparing it with I lived 80 years, or I lived 70, or I lived 100 years, or 120, or whatever, or 50. It's just small portion. It's just like it says in James, our life is but a vapor. I think of it, you light a match and a vapor comes off, a little smoke, a puff of smoke. Some translations even say a puff of smoke, if I remember right. That's what it's like. It's like something is here for a moment and then it's gone. Anyway, let's start realizing we're the eternal, and that's who we are, and it can't be harmed. You can't die. I am as God created me. Okay, well, let's go look in our text. So do that, your longer practice period, morning and evening today, and then your hourly remembrance. And at that hour remembrance, find something to be thankful for, and ask God for direction on what to do for the next hour, what's coming up. And stay totally in touch with the answer, capital A, the Holy Spirit. Okay, we're in the last section of chapter 18, the passing of the dream. Roman numeral 9, the two worlds. You've been told to bring the darkness to the light and guilt to holiness. And you've also been told that error must be corrected at its source. Therefore, it is the tiny part of yourself, the little thought that seems split off and separate, the Holy Spirit needs. That little infinitesimally small self that we think is ourself. The rest is fully in God's keeping and needs no guide. Yet this wild and delusional thought needs help, because in its delusions, it thinks it is the Son of God, whole and omnipotent, sole ruler of the kingdom it's set apart to tyrannize by madness into obedience and slavery. This is the little part you think you stole from heaven. Give it back to heaven, says Yeshua. Heaven has not lost it, but you have lost sight of heaven. Let the Holy Spirit remove it from the withered kingdom in which you set it off, surrounded by darkness, guarded by attack, and reinforced by hate. Within its barricades is still a tiny segment of the Son of God, complete and whole, serene and unaware of what you think surrounds it. So in that false identity that thinks that you're a body and can die and that you're weak and vulnerable, there's a little part of that. Even that perception can't be alive without the Christ, the holiness that's your true self. So find that little spark of divinity that's your reality, the part that's always peaceful, always joyful, and learn to come into that moment. Remember how I said the other day, let that moment extend every time you have a tiny instant of memory of that self. You'll never be quite the same when you come back to the world. So take your hourly quiet times, even just for a moment, to stop and breathe in the scent of heaven and be at peace. And when you come back to the world, you'll be a little bit saner. Paragraph 2. Be you not separate, for the one who does surround it has brought union to you, returning your little offering of darkness to the eternal light. How is this done? It is extremely simple, being based on what this little kingdom really is. The barren sands, the darkness, and the lifelessness are seen only through the body's eyes. Its bleak sight is distorted, and the messages it transmits to you, who made it, to limit your awareness, are little and limited, and so fragmented they are meaningless. 3. From the world of bodies made by insanity, insane messages seem to be returned to the mind that made it. And these messages bear witness to this world, pronouncing it as true. For you sent forth these messengers to bring this back to you. Everything these messages relay to you is quite external. There are no messages that speak of what lies underneath, for it is not the body that could speak of this. Its eyes perceive it not. Its senses remain quite unaware of it. Its tongue cannot relay its messages, yet God can bring you there, if you are willing to follow the Holy Spirit through seeming terror, trusting Him not to abandon you and leave you there. Wow, catch this. Yet God can bring you there to that holy place if you're willing to follow the Holy Spirit through your seeming terror, trusting Him not to abandon you and leave you in your fears. For it is not His purpose to frighten you, but only your purpose. Yours are severely You are severely tempted to abandon him at the outside ring of fear, but he would lead you safely through and far beyond. Paragraph 4. The circle of fear lies just below the level of the body sees, and seems to be the whole foundation on which the world is based. Here are all the illusions, all the twisted thoughts, all the insane attacks, the fury, the vengeance, and betrayal that were made to keep the guilt in place, so that the world could rise from it and keep it hidden. Its shadow rises to the surface enough to hold its most external manifestations in darkness and to bring despair and loneliness to it and keep it joyless. Yet its intensity is veiled by its heavy coverings and kept apart from what was made to keep it hidden. The body cannot see this, for the body arose from this for its protection, which depends on keeping it not seen. The body's eyes will never look on it, yet they will see what it dictates. 5. The body will remain guilt's messenger and will act as it directs as long as you believe that guilt is real. For the reality of guilt is the illusion that seems to make it heavy and opaque, impenetrable, and a real foundation for the ego's thought system. Its thinness and transparency are not apparent until you see the light behind it, and then you see it as a fragile veil before the light. 6. This heavy-seeming barrier, this artificial floor that looks like rock, is like a bank of low dark clouds that seem to be a solid wall before the sun. Its impenetrable appearance is wholly an illusion. It gives way softly to the mountain tops that rise above it, and has no power at all to hold back anyone willing to climb above it and see the sun. It is not strong enough to stop a button's fall, nor hold a feather. Nothing can rest upon it, for it is but an illusion of a foundation. Try but to touch it, and it disappears. Attempt to grasp it, and your hands hold nothing. 7. Yet in this cloud bank, it is easy to see a whole world rising. A solid mountain range, a lake, a city, all rise in your imagination. And from the clouds, the messengers of your perception return to you, assuring you that it is there. Figures stand out and move about, actions seem real, and forms appear and shift from loveliness to the grotesque. And back and forth they go as long as you would play the game of children's make-believe by believing in your brother's guilty or that you're guilty. That's what sets this whole illusion up. Yet however long you play this game, and regardless of how much imagination you bring to it, you do not confuse it with the world below, nor seek to make it real. 8. So should it be with the dark clouds of guilt, no more impenetrable and no more substantial. You will not bruise yourself against them in traveling through them. Let your guide teach you their unsubstantial nature as he leads you past your guilt consciousness. For beneath it is a world of light whereon they cast no shadows. Their shadows lie upon the world beyond them, still further from the light. Yet from them to the light their shadows cannot fall. 9. This world of light, this circle of brightness, is the real world, where guilt meets with forgiveness. The real world where guilt meets with forgiveness. That's what we want to find every instant that we leave this world behind on our hourly practices. We come a little closer to breathing in the scent of heaven, where there is no guilt. This world of light, this circle of brightness in the real world, where guilt meets with forgiveness. Here the world outside is seen anew, without the shadow of guilt upon it. Here are you forgiven, for here you have forgiven everyone. You remember, what you give is what you can receive. Forgive everyone so you can be forgiven in your mind. Here is the new perception where everything is bright and shining with innocence, washed in the waters of forgiveness and cleansed of every evil thought you laid upon it. Here there is no attack upon the Son of God, and you are welcome. Here is your innocence, waiting to clothe you and protect you and make you ready for the final step in the journey inward. The journey inward where there is no sin. Here are the dark and heavy garments of guilt laid by and gently replaced by purity and love. 10. Yet even forgiveness is not the end. Forgiveness does make lovely, but it does not create. It is the source of healing, but it is the messenger of love and not its source. Here you are led. Let's look at this. Here, let me get my page turned just a minute. Here you are led that God himself can take the final step unhindered, for here does nothing interfere with love, letting it be itself. A step beyond this holy place of forgiveness. A step still further inward, but the one you cannot make, transports you to something completely different. Here is the source of light, nothing perceived. Forgiven. Here is the source of light, the source of love, God, who makes the final step. You can't do it, but he can. You do all the preparation. He does like I said the other day, the heavy lifting. He pulls you up by grace. Here is the source of light, nothing perceived, forgiven, nor transformed, but merely known. 11. This course will lead to knowledge, but knowledge itself is still beyond the scope of our curriculum. Nor is there any need for us to try to speak of what must forever lie beyond words. We need remember only that whoever attains the real world, beyond which learning cannot go, will go beyond it, but in a different way. Where learning ends, there God begins. For learning ends before him who is complete, where he begins, and where there is no end. It is not for us to dwell on what cannot be attained. There is too much to learn. All these people to forgive, letting go of our guilt. There's lots of that's plateful for all of us. The readiness for knowledge still must be attained. Our readiness for knowledge to see everyone is innocent. That's our work. Work out your salvation with fear and trembling, says the Bible. Paragraph 12. Love is not learned. Its meaning lies within itself, and learning ends when you have recognized all it is not. This is the interference that is what needs to be undone. All the judgments you've been making. That's what love doesn't do. Love is not learned because there never was a time in which you knew love not. Learning is useless in the presence of your Creator, whose acknowledgement of you and yours of him so far transcends all learning that everything you learned is meaningless, replaced forever by the knowledge of love and its one meaning. 13. Your relationship with your brother has been uprooted from the world of shadows, and its unholy purpose has been safely brought through the barriers of guilt, washed with forgiveness, and set shining and firmly rooted in the world of light. From there it calls to you to follow the course it took, lifted high above the darkness and gently placed before the gates of heaven. The holy instant in which you and your brother were united is but the messenger of love, the holy instant where you see yourself as guiltless along with your brother. From there it calls to you to follow the course it took, lifted high above the darkness and gently placed before the gates of heaven. The holy instant in which you and your brother were united is but the messenger of love, sent from beyond forgiveness to remind you of all that lies beyond forgiveness. Yet it is through forgiveness that it will be remembered. When we get to a place that we realize there's actually nothing to forgive, but we use forgiveness to reach that place, letting go of all the judgments of guilt that we're making. And the last paragraph to finish this section, finish the whole chapter, 14. And when the memory of God has come to you in the holy place of forgiveness, you will remember nothing else, and memory will be as useless as learning, for your only purpose will be creating. Yet this you cannot know until every perception has been cleansed and purified, and finally removed forever. Forgiveness removes only the untrue, lifting the shadows from the world and carrying it safe and sure within its gentleness to the bright world of new and clean perception. There is your purpose now, and it is there that peace awaits you. Nothing more valuable in this world than learning forgiveness. And practicing. Don't just know it intellectually, feel it with your heart and exercise it so that you can speed your way on to happiness and peace. There is your purpose now, and it is there that peace awaits you. Let's read that last sentence or two again. Forgiveness removes only the untrue, lifting the shadows from the world and carrying it safe and sure within its gentleness to the bright world of new and clean perception. Wow. There is your purpose now, and it is there that peace awaits you. Follow your forgiveness. Follow your non-judgment. See your brother as one with you as you tell yourself today, God is beloved, and therefore so am I. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. I would behold you with the eyes of Christ and see my perfect sinlessness in you. We got to see it in them in order to see it in us. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am as God created me, sinless throughout, perfect and whole. Even if I just see a little spark of it in the pictures, I'm going to let that spark grow until it gets brighter and brighter each time I come away from a holy instant. I bring a little bit more of my reality with me because I'm letting go of what I don't need to know so that I can remember who I really am. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God, or I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son. You can read that there towards the end of the last chapter in the text. It's one of the italicized sections, if I remember right. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Okay, let's see what's going on around the world today. Let's see, it's Ashura, which is a holy day for the Islamics, both the Sunnis and the Sufis. Both they recognize different aspects of their of historical events, but it's Ashura, holy day for Islam. Presentation of Augsburg Confession by the Lutherans. Bourdain Day. Chef Bourdain. Another chef day, it's Mitch Lane Day. He has the TikTok meals. He's a chef. It's his day too. Global Beatles Day. You know, they had the message of love, peace, and unity. And that's one thing they did have. Let's see. At least they tried, is what I would say. Bomb Pop Day, Strawberry Parfait Day, Catfish Day. You know, there's 450 genera. I was going to look up what genera catfish is. There's 450 genera and 3,400 species worldwide of catfish. Handshake Day. I give you all a virtual handshake. Thank you all for joining me. Spread the love. Quit making judgments. See your brothers and sisters as guiltless. The world needs it, and it needs it desperately now. School Prayer Band Anniversary. That happened in 1962 at the Supreme Court in the United States. Statehood Day in Virginia. World Vitiligo Day, which is an autoimmune disease affecting the pigments of the skin. Okay, and then out of edible landscaping, we've got the Romeo bush cherry, which is a Prunus fruticosa crossed with the Cerasus. And edible landscaping says of it that it is self-fertile, 6-foot spacing, zones 3 through 7. I found that it's in public domain, but the name is trademarked. Let's just read what edible landscaping says about the Romeo bush cherry. Has dark red to black fruits similar to Carmen Jewel, but ripens later. Fruits have a very distinct flavor susceptible to direct consumption and processing. Suitable for direct consumption and processing. Fruit weight 4 grams. Sugar content up to 22 bricks. Shrubs about 6 feet tall and similar width. Very productive and self-fertile. Zones 3 through 7. And you find all your different varieties that fruit at different times, so that you can have a longer harvest window for a homestead, which is who I'm basically encouraging in these videos. You folks that are, people, my brother Carl, who's crossed over, and I heard today that his mentor, Teddy Steen, made her crossing. She was a wonderful woman, helped a lot of people in recovery. And my brother was one of those people that she helped. So may you follow the great light of love, Teddy, as you always were, even in this world. I was getting ready to say, and I think we have just a moment, that my audience, my brother Carl said, always know your audience well. And I think, well, my audience is like 12-year-olds that are really smart and really want to find their direction in life, save themselves a lot of trouble. The rest of you, jump into your youngest self and listen with the attentiveness of an adult, but in the mind of a child. Because we're trying to learn a direction. And that's what we all needed to learn at bar mitzvah at 12 years old, when we became adults. The Aymara people of Lake Titicaca in the Andes of Bolivia and Peru, their word for peace is Hacara. Hacara be with you, peace be with you. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. I would behold you with the eyes of Christ and see my perfect sinlessness in you. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son, and I am His Son. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And as our Aymara people of the Andes say for peace, Hacara. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God. I am as God created me. God is but love, and therefore so am I.